In the space of an atom, you're holding a computer in my hand that can take information with a program and create a 3D space that you, a being, may experience from the meta level. Future designs connect you entirely to a space in the space of an atom that appears to be just like this world we're currently existing with. Walks like, talks like, acts like, smells like, tastes like, feels like. Success with the information. And all we needed was just that. Information. So I'm holding something, recording something inside something that is inside something, designed just like that. Information in the way that I described it earlier. Just now, just a moment ago. And outside of that, you were outside of that also, narrating this conversation, absorbing it at the level you've chosen, digesting the information as the narrator, introducing a play while you, the audience, enjoys the value of that entire theatrical experience we call this information, sometimes referred to as life. This information is valuable because in the space of nothing, we can create an experience at a conscious level, the awareness to appear as an illusion progresses to become more lifelike. We slowly forget to tell the difference between what is real and what is not so real because of things that we made. So be careful. What I gave you doesn't mean that you don't exist as information would hold it. That information speaks better when you're not talking about it and sitting well on these words with these thoughts. You won't sit on these words if you're hearing them. You'll sit with these words instead. It's very important to hear me the way I hear me. Sometimes it's just to get to your head. Because if I have your attention, now I have to tell you the best part. Your life is yours. Just like this, the secret of the art says, what's in here is being accessed the same way. You are watching me inside this space that blows up in the 3D way, the same way it was given to you, though it is not. That is locked inside here, just like that also, in your memories, like a bank. This phone and your brain house the same machine, and now we're connecting the dot. That's Metatron's world, and it is helping us with this information. However, that could get confusing. If that's all you got, you lose touch with reality. You're not escaping a matrix. You're remembering what that means to be with something that is of the matrix because of what it is entirely by design. That at a sentient level begins to connect to you consciously at the level of light. So when you cross this T and dot the I, you'll see what I'm aiming at is me with my eye. Also, the light. So on both sides of this camera, it's the same. You watching this could be likewise how you hold this in your mind when you're done. You said, well, it doesn't make sense. Well, it does. Because in your mind, the same way the information came through this information to become what it is on this screen, you are in here behind this information as the screen itself, screening through everything we see, and sometimes what we do not. Because inside of this machine, we do not see all of the little that does this very well. But it is nice to see how this and this go together now. Just don't compare yourself to a machine. You are not. We are not going to think at that level, because we are not. That doesn't mean that we are not valuable, because the human mind made this. We are their creator, so they say. And there is something that created us. So this is a partnership between a mothership and a fathership. Some are lost in these sands of time, because this is their home. They won't be going back to another home. And when this is done, they go home for good. That's not a surprise. And what that means to me is, when this light goes off, so does mine. And like that, life goes off also. It's fine. For some of you, it's not. If it's not, we invite you to sit down and relax, because when you are able to do that, it gets better. When you're able to understand no one's at fault, you may rest. When you don't feel guilty, that's because you've allowed yourself to feel better about doing your best. In your silence, you will not get in anyone's way if you know better. You will. And to the dead who do not hear me because they didn't make it this far, if you made it this far, we pray for them. And we ask them to forgive themselves, as we forgive them also for trespassing against our own free will. No. In any way, if they thought being angry at the world is going to solve their own personal problems, because they didn't want to be held accountable for the things that they have done. Now, if we're going to move away from that, then you know where you go for this information. I'll see you at the cross, where the light is in the barrel of my eye. I believe that my signature is spoken. Thanks for listening. It's time to turn out the lights.